Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome to another DNE podcast. My name is Daniel.
My name's Eamon, and this is the 4th episode.
Yes, we've been doing this 4 times now.
4 weeks in a row.
That is pretty crazy, actually. That's I like that.
It is a wild reflection back to the first episode. Now we have 2 mics. We've
So much improvement has happened since
we've dug a little deeper into our pockets for this, which
yeah, well, so much has happened. Actually, I think the first episode was the most structured one. So, the second one was.
the second one was the most structured. If we do a little bit of reflection, it's probably my least favorite of the ones we've done so far.
Really?
I reckon.
I actually haven't heard the second or third.
I haven't listened back to them either. I'm just like,
okay.
While we were doing them, the flow wasn't
Wasn't there?
Wasn't nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, another day, another podcast. So,
Indeed. Welcome back.
welcome back. And again, we'll be shoving some stuff down your throat, and you're just gonna have to listen to it.
Down your throat, down your ear holes,
Down, up, down.
up down your ear holes.
Isn't that what I said at some point? I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today what we'll actually be doing is going through the personality test that we talked about last week. So if you haven't heard the last week episode, I advise you do. So there's that.
There is that.
Yeah. However, the personality test that we did actually does not relate to my readings, so I'll just keep that out of the way for this episode, and yeah, we'll just roll with what we have.
Yeah. So off camera, we did the 16 personality test, and we're just kind of gonna share our results. I don't think either of us really believe they reflect us.
I think let's discuss this after we actually read them, so people kind of can actually hear it, I guess. Do you want to go first?
No.
No? Okay.
It's making me log in or something.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay. I'll go first then. So I actually got the protagonist personality.
Well, so interesting, Daniel.
I know. I am. Well, it's.
Do you feel like the protagonist, bro?
I
think everybody feels like the protagonist in their lives, no?
Look, I hope everyone feels like the protagonist of their lives. Otherwise, that would be kind of disappointing, wouldn't it?
It would be a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Imagine you see yourself as a secondary character of your life.
As an NPC.
You think yourself as
I've
an
seen this
NPC.
before. I've done, because like NPCs exist. We can acknowledge this, right? There are just the people who don't ever have like any conflicting views, don't ever really express themselves. They just kind of like exist in this world.
No, but they're not NPCs though.
Nah,
No, they're people. That's just how they are. You can't judge people based on that. You know,
Yeah, no, well,
just because someone isn't as loud as you.
well, I looked it up
and-
because I was like, I thought I was like, maybe I have NPC energy, bro. And people go, do I have NPC energy? And people be Googling it.
That's valid, actually. No one's truly an NPC though. Otherwise, well,
No,
actually,
no
who knows?
No one's literally non-playable. I mean, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I am the only protagonist in this world, and like
It's like some Truman Show shit.
all of you listening and Eamon, not here.
We're part
Actually, just a code.
we're part of the code.
Yes, I am truly just the only person on this earth. I'm so sorry for whoever.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not triggering any
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 anxiety.
future issues for you guys.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so to my test. I'm a protagonist. My traits: it's extroverted, 66%, intuitive, 73%, feelings, 54%, judging, 65%,
Wow.
and turbulent, 60%. What that means, I could not tell you. So
I'll go back and we'll go back off each other. I'm extroverted 68%. I think
Nice.
you were 66.
66, yeah.
I'm intuitive 72. What
Whoa.
you were 76.
Okay. Feeling?
I'm thinking 62.
You're thinking you're the opposite. Okay.
Yeah.
And judging?
I'm judging 58.
58. Turbulent?
Assertive 83.
Assertive. Nice. Okay.
So we're kind of similar on the
We are.
extroverted,
We are.
intuitive, and
I don't.
judging.
Yeah. See, these are the things I don't really agree with, but I guess we'll talk about that later. What role did you get?
I got the commander.
Commander was your personality.
Yeah.
What was your role?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay. Mine was diplomat, and I got strategist, social engagement. Whatever that means. They don't explain any further, but
I just got the commander.
you should have down after your traits, you should have your role and your strategy. On the email at least. Do you have your email open?
Yeah. I don't.
Well, I just got extra things, my dude.
Oh, strategy, people mastery, role analyst,
Nice.
traits. Oh yeah, I've already said the traits.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
What the hell
People mastery,
Yeah,
is
I
that
don't-
it?
Yeah, I don't know what people mastery is. My strategy is. I don't know.
Well, I don't.
What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know. I don't think they actually explain any further. I'll read a short description of what a protagonist is. The protagonist is a character and an inspiring personality type who often feels called to serve greater purpose in life. Protagonists feel a near constant drive to expand, improve, and grow, often in the name of serving others. No.
What, you just serve yourself? Is that the? Is that what you
Negative.
disagree with?
But it's all too easy for protagonists to feel lost, and when the results that they envision and strive for don't manifest. I guess that's kind of true in a way, but yeah. Gonna read a bit about yours.
Did you
or-
just read the first paragraph? Because I don't think the first paragraph. I was reading it while you were reading yours, and
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it's
Well,
me. I'll read it. Look,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I'll read it.
yeah, please.
You'll love this off rip, the opening sentence though. Commanders are natural born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. However, commanders are also characterized by an often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever end they've set for themselves.
That's
Perhaps
not bad.
perhaps it is best that they make up only 3% of the population, lest they would overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the world.
3%.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
But we have commanders to thank for the many businesses and institutions we have granted today.
Nice.
There
I
are
see.
some things I agree with in here. Yeah, here's a sentence I really like. If there's anyone commanders respect, it's someone who is able to stand up to them intellectually, who is able to act with precision and quality equal to their own. Commander personalities have a particular skill in recognizing talents of others, and this helps both in their team building efforts and to keep commanders from displaying too much arrogance and condensation. Or condensation. like water on a...
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. But see, you know what's funny, though?
What?
I felt like if you read mine, if ours was opposite,
Yeah. We would both be like, yeah.
we'd both be like the same sort of...
I reckon so.
We'd feel the same about the results.
Yeah, we're so similar in the extroverted, the intuitive, and...
Yeah.
But this feels way extreme. Like, I definitely agree with what they say.
Well, I agree in parts.
But like, the way they just kind of like boldly, you're this. I'm like, okay, I am that, yes, but...
There's a lot more to
not,
it. Yeah.
not that bluntly and not that strong.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I don't fully agree with it. So, there's that.
Here we go. Commander friendships are built on ideas. And a lot of what they find enjoyable is I don't even know this word. Repartee of putting thoughts forward and defending them from assault from every angle. People with the commander personality type are very smart, highly critical, and they won't back down if they're put on the offensive. In fact, there's no better way to earn their respect, which I agree with fully. If you put an idea forward and I'm attacking it and you're defending it, I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. See, but that's the thing though. A month ago, I would have done that. While now, I'm more like, no.
Yeah, and I think, see, it's funny because I've been in this same category. It's on the 16 personalities site. I've been in that analysts category the whole time. Like when I did it when I was younger in high school and uni, I've just been different people from that same category. I think another one's the architect or the debater.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, see, I want to fluctuate between. Well, see, that's the thing, and that's why it's hard to discuss now, because what I've read doesn't really have.
Yeah, what you read is kind of like not.
Well, I think it's
relevant.
like. See, I think with no whatsoever research or like there's nowhere that says anything about it.
Yeah.
But I do think they're actually related to some sort of degree. But I just at the end of the day, I just don't know how similar they are and what determines what. So in this system, of course, because I haven't read about the system, so it's just being possible. But what I read about is like more the idea that I want to be, well, for myself rather, but I want to be someone who can actually be a lot different to one personality type, if that makes sense.
Right, someone who's fluid between like maybe a couple different, depending on scenarios. Or
well,
like...
basically someone who can adapt to every scenario is the final goal, which is like,
I guess,
interesting. And honestly, it's a challenge that I want to take on because there is enough. Well, see, these tests don't mean everything. How you perceive a situation doesn't mean everything either.
Yeah.
But it would be good to actually learn how to deal with that. And there's a lot of material out there. So
I guess what you're saying is like you kind of want to be as extroverted as you can in extroverted scenarios. Like
and as introverted as I can in introverted scenarios.
Yeah, right. But in like the positive way type thing. Or like, and then look at things from, I don't know how you look at things from an intuitive point of view, an observant point of view, or like a thinking and then feeling.
See, but that's the funny thing though. It's like, it depends who you're with, right? And that's like how you deal with situations depends on the people in the environment, right?
Yeah.
And how that environment is actually presenting itself to you. So basically be able to read a room, right? And you read what each person, like what sort of personality or character they have as soon as you can, like as picking up like sort of, I don't know, different characteristics, and then being able to match each person's. Yeah.
I can see it. I think it would take a while.
Oh, definitely.
But like 100% matching is like how you build rapport and like
correct
a quality friendship.
But that's the bigger thing though, and probably the when you match someone, when you match a characteristic, right? When you match their personality, you are able to control the environment.
Them.
Well, if you're in more people than the environment, but like if you're with someone else, then them, I guess.
Yeah. So
you're controlling the situation, and that's one thing that like I'd like to learn per se.
Yeah.
Because it's everyone does it, okay? So there's no judgment here. Everyone does try to control the environment because that's basically how we are as social creatures. We try to be there and actually make it comfortable for ourselves.
Or we want to be in control, or we want to feel like we're in control.
Correct, but
we want things our way. I feel like, and if intrinsically,
if you're matching with someone, if you're matching their characteristics, it will feel like both are controlling the environment because they're both happy with what's going on.
Yeah. You'll feel like you're on the same wavelength, or
Correct.
or maybe like the other person will feel like they're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea. If you're controlling an environment well enough, then it just means that you are having a great time, and so is the other person. So I don't see anything wrong with it. It sounds terrible, but it's not.
I mean, look, it can be. It could 100% be used maliciously.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, you can definitely learn these things and use it and take advantage of people. But like, I feel like that's such a. I don't know. I wouldn't use it for that. It feels like a waste.
It feels like a waste.
Unless you're in like a sales position, or
if you're fighting for a job or something of the sort, I feel like it would be good to use whatever tools you have to.
Actually, I feel like just by the nature of what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're not really doing things like gaslighting or like anything that's out. Like, the person still like has full capability of just like disagreeing or like saying no, because you're like, the idea is that you would be creating an environment in which like they feel comfortable to say no.
Correct.
But they're choosing to say yes.
And but that's the thing though. If you create a perfect environment for different characteristics, right, of personalities, different personalities, you'd be creating a perfect environment for all types of personalities. So if someone likes to actually not disagree, but if someone likes to discuss things, so basically I have an opinion, you have another opinion, right? Yeah. And you are the sort of person who likes to have discussions or like arguments about things, then the perfect environment for you would be me to actually discuss that with you, right?
Is to opposing,
yeah, exactly. And for other people, a perfect environment would be where we just agree with each other.
Yeah, or you just identify the argument is about to occur, or discuss, or like, what do you call it, conflict.
Yeah,
and you just avoid it and make the other person feel happier.
I believe conflicts should be try to avoid them at all times, but like, discussions are always good to have. Having a heated argument is never. I don't know. Most people don't enjoy it. People like discussions where it's still friendly in a way.
I have I guess I agree, but to some degree, do you think that's just how you end it? How you end it?
As in an argument.
Yeah, because I feel like you could have a really heated argument, and then if you're both fully capable of reflecting and then coming to good terms pretty quickly after, then it's kind of like an honest expression.
Yeah, it is. But usually when that happens, right? Usually, at least, and that's not rare at all. That's just by experience.
Yeah, I'm not even talking I'm not talking relationship or anything. I'm just talking point of views and and opinions.
Let's say I do have an argument, right, with you, for example.
Yeah. How
it has happened before in the past is we have an argument. At the end of the argument, we both don't feel great about it, and then at the end of the day, we still don't agree with each other. But we just move on from that situation, which is good. But at the same time, it just wasn't a good situation to be in to begin with.
Yeah, which means it was to some degree just useless.
Correct. And it was just bad. When you have a discussion, you can still, at the end of the day, disagree with each other. But at least you spoke your points and you had you can even raise your voice. Discussing doesn't mean you don't need to raise your voice. Sometimes you have to express a point. But it's more the energy that's what I think, right? And I might be wrong on the definition, but I guess the energy between a discussion and an argument are different at the end of the day.
I think a discussion is more trying to come to common ground.
Yeah.
Or it's trying to find common ground. You're trying to find something that both of you agree on.
See, I don't think so, though.
Whereas I think arguments are just you're trying to prove your point correct, and that your opposition is trying to prove their point correct, and there's not neither person has the ability to believe that their point is wrong.
Yeah, argument always brings me to a heated argument. So something
I guess argument and
negative
argument and debate I think are going to go
Debate,
pretty
yeah.
hand in hand. I think arguments are definitely going to be a bit more emotionally fueled than debates.
I feel like a debate is a better word, even like than discussion for what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, most likely, because it's going to be like a rational.
Yeah, you still disagreeing, but
yeah. It's
even
just
some debates go a bit further than they should. I feel like they do become arguments.
Yeah. But do you think that's emotion? Like,
Oh, dude, everything that you leave. This is what I believe. Everything that you leave your, like, your coolness and your calmness.
yeah.
That is already emotion. Anytime you leave a point of,
So being calm and collected and cool is still an emotion. Yeah.
well, I don't think so. Well, everything.
Oh, okay, I was paraphrasing what you were saying. But.
No. I feel like everything past that is just emotionally driven. So if you arguing with someone, right?
Yeah.
If you actually if you are so passionate about a subject to argue with them about it, and that is emotional, right? You feel attached to that idea.
Yeah.
Which is kind of silly if you think about it.
It is silly.
Yeah.
I agree. It's really difficult though. And a lot of times that I've been in arguments, you don't catch it until after the fact.
Yeah, I know.
Or even like just immediately post argument when both of you are feeling mad.
You think about it.
And you go, yeah,
Why?
Why am I emotionally charged about this?
See, but that's the thing though, and that's what I was saying earlier, is like it's useless. It doesn't help anybody at the end of the day.
So just being able to have these like arguments but like less fueled by negative emotion. Or just being less emotionally attached to your...
Be more open.
Yeah. More of a discussion.
More of a discussion. That's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a debate if you don't put your foot forward to be a debate, you know? I feel like discussion, debate work. Actually, debate really is in between argument and discussion, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It is interesting because there are some things where you do just have to convince the other person of that your way is better. I know that sounds really bad, just saying what we said, but some, I guess, common ground. If both of you are looking for common ground, then like,
see, but that's
you're bound to end up on the correct thing,
yeah.
which is going to be one of you. And you know, if that's your point of view, then like you're not going to be.
See, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing about the personality book, and also that other book that I read. That is like the idea of, if you know who you're talking to, and you know how that person reacts to certain situations, right?
Yeah.
Or how they would, per se. You would be able to, for example, say the things you want to say and have them agree with you in a way or not. Like, you're basically just matching them, right? So you just say it in a different way than you would to another person. So instead of, for example, if I'm talking to you, I usually use like higher tonality, but if I'm talking to Tegan about something, for example, I would use like a lower tonality and just be a bit more collected about things, right? So I guess that's the whole idea. Like,
no, that's,
you don't ever have to argue a situation.
And I just think that's like just the objectively best way to effectively communicate.
100%.
Like, and I think we've spoken about this before, hey, where it's just like communication is fully based on
listeners' terms.
Who is receiving what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not on you. If you're saying something or if you're trying to communicate a point and it's not being understood, you're the issue. Yeah.
And you see, that's really wild though, because you really don't think about that.
I don't think it's definitely not something that I have, like, I had to find that on my own.
Right? I had to read it.
Yeah, no, same, right? Like, no one mentions it. Everyone always thinks it's
I don't think many people know. I'll be honest with you. People try to change how they say things, but in reality, you just have to be. It changes depending on the situation.
I don't think people care. I think people just want to think they're right, and this is the best way to say it. So, and you're dumb for not understanding it.
You're right. Actually, you're right. On the Collars book, the red attitude is just to be blunt about things, and if you don't like the way they said it, they didn't mean it emotionally, so that's your problem. Which is wild. It's funny, but
It is wild.
that is a characteristic like of certain people. So
It is wild.
it's a little arrogant if you think about it, but so many people do it. So I do it. Can't say I haven't.
What? Do what? Like,
Just say something bluntly, and then just even
and then just be like, well, I didn't
even
mean
refuse
it to be offensive or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
even
like,
refuse to apologize. Like how low is that? Like you say something that hurts someone, and like you just you just think you're above the situation just because you haven't changed your opinion on it. And it's like you can have the different opinions still, but it doesn't mean you haven't like affected someone in a negative way.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. You bring up the apology, an interesting one, because I still believe, like, if you said something and you believe it, and it, like, that you would be backing what you said.
Yeah.
But like, apologize. See, and it's like it'd be really difficult to apologize for how you said it.
Yeah. Well, not really.
I mean, it's like
If the problem
I mean, how would
is
you effectively
the
communicate
opinion,
that?
though, that's the problem, right? So I agree with you.
That's
on
what I
that
mean.
sense.
Like if the opinion's not going to change.
Yeah.
Like if you said something and you believe it, but you said it in a way that, yeah, then like that's on like the apology kind of becomes a bit hard to.
It does. I had that issue not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna quote what happened here,
No,
but
don't have to.
But basically, yeah, it's just the idea of I still believe, and people would have taken this differently. And I even said like something like, I'm apologizing because of the way you felt. You know, oh wait, that doesn't sound right. Like I'm apologizing because of the way I made you feel per se, and I feel bad for it. I don't feel bad for having a different opinion.
Right. I get you.
But that didn't work at all.
No, but like,
So the opinion can be the problem, you know?
oh yeah, and I feel like most of the time, the opinion is going to be the problem.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing though with being open, you know? Because the opinion really doesn't matter at the end of the day. What opinion is so important for you to like not care that you actually just made someone feel in a negative way?
Wait, say that again.
So what opinion would make you feel like you don't... Sorry. Let me rephrase that in a better way. So, what opinion would be so important for you to just not apologize for something? You made someone feel terrible about something, right?
Yeah.
And you just... I don't know.
Because I'm going, if you said what you believe,
Yeah.
or you say something that, like,
I don't have an example is a problem.
yeah,
but,
no,
yeah.
that is fair. It's kind of difficult to do it without an example.
Yeah,
But
it really is.
I'm kind of just going blanket on on a belief or something that you believe to be true.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know.
Okay,
I believe one should apologize for
Mm.
simply having their view.
Yeah, but the problem isn't for them having their view.
But if you're presenting it in a way and it makes someone feel bad, you'd be like, "Oh well, I apologize. I didn't
Correct.
like I didn't think."
Yeah.
How would someone get? Why should you ever have to apologize for an opinion or view?
Because some people are sensitive to it, man.
And that's wild. Should we be apologizing for that? I'm sorry to take it down the route, but
I don't know. I think so. I believe that as social creatures, we should try it. Well, we shouldn't. See, that's the thing, and that's what I like about the Marcus Aurelius book, Meditations, right? Which is, you shouldn't care about what people are thinking about you, right? Like,
no.
you should who cares, honestly?
And you
But-
shouldn't. Well, he says, what's the line that I even read today? Like, you shouldn't be wasting your thoughts on other people.
Yeah,
When?
correct. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's a bit longer and a bit more complex than that. I'm maybe just taking it out of context, actually. But
Well, it's kind of like that. I think I know what sentence you're talking about. But like, if you went as far to hurt someone, right? That person has to be close to you in some way, right? And if you went as far to hurt someone that is close to you, why doesn't matter? Like, as a social creature, why would you not just be like, okay, I'm so sorry how I acted. Can we just move on from this situation? Or,
Yeah.
in the first place, if that conversation didn't matter at all, why would you even go through it?
yeah, and then maybe just hindsight 2020, and you go, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have said it like that or said that. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't mean your belief is wrong.
No, exactly.
Just can't mean you shared it at the wrong time.
You shouldn't drop any of your beliefs. You should be open to new beliefs and new ideas. But if you fully think your thoughts and and that belief is the one and only, and you can't even acknowledge that there's other beliefs, then maybe you should really keep that belief.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
100%. I reckon, yeah.
I don't think there
And just
should
be-
be such
And
belief.
being aware of where you could present certain beliefs.
Yeah, I don't think there should be such beliefs though, in which they're just unbreakable and a wall. You know, life is so much more than just having like that sort of thought. You know, people have to be a little bit more malleable sometimes. I feel even the sensitive people.
I agree, but I kind of disagree to some. I don't know how to. I guess inherently I have to agree.
Well, the way
just because I believe in evolving and improving,
yeah,
which would mean to not have but this is what I'm maybe having a steadfast belief on a certain aspect of life or certain
and not feeling down about such menial things.
yeah, right, maybe applying
Yeah.
a belief like that and keeping it hard walled is the way to see. Maybe this is just my personality type coming
No, but
through.
I agree with you, and that's cool. But when you usually have a belief that is hard-walled, right? You usually put that into other people as well. If I'm like that, then other people shall be and should be like this. Which, when you say it out loud, does it sound like everyone? You're basically saying
I think it's my
people should be like me.
I think it's my personality type coming through, not in where people should be like me, but I would want to be surrounded by people who are like me.
That's fair.
I also
That's really funny.
I also like to be surrounded by people who aren't me, but
Some room with a full
yeah,
of Amons.
full of.
Well, I would hate that.
I would hate it too, bro. I would hate it. No, I reckon I'd like it.
Look, man, I love you, but wow, two of you would be already enough. For me to be like, no,
for you, it'd be
please.
the most annoying thing under the sun.
Oh,
For anyone
God.
other than myself, it'd be the most annoying thing. I reckon.
That is the most narcissistic thing that ever came out of your mouth.
What you reckon? I would love it.
I would love to have 10 of me.
Maybe not
surrounding me.
10. 9 though.
You're the 10th.
Well, what if you had multiple U's? What do you reckon? Good, bad?
I don't know. A year ago I said I would hate it. Now I'm getting more not familiar. I'm getting more comfortable and actually liking myself a lot more. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Mainly just for the fact that I'd be more balanced and more open to new ideas, and
Balance is so important. Hey,
I believe, yeah. And that's why I'm trying to have no hardened walls of opinions, because no hardened walls of opinions really mean anything at the end of the day.
is it not a hardened opinion that one should be balanced?
Yeah, but imbalance just happens, doesn't it?
It does, but it's a steadfast belief, right?
Yeah. But what is balance? Balance is being everything, right?
And see, this is where I'm like, I agree, because I believe in a balance as well, but I have to disagree because I can't shut out the opportunity that I might come across a better belief,
Yeah, exactly. No,
or
but
a
there's,
belief that will. Like,
that's exactly it, though.
yeah.
So you can't have a hard
You
wall.
can never be fully blind to other
You
beliefs.
just answered your previous question to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
I forget the question that I answered.
Ooh.
We'll go back
The
through.
question itself, I won't remember, but it was basically just
It was what I answered.
yes, yeah. Rewind.
But going back to having other people, other yous,
Mm.
I think it's important to craft yourself to be someone who, you know,
You'd like to have around.
Yeah, you'd want to be friends with.
Definitely, yeah.
So is it narcissistic to say I'd love to have another me? Is that
I mean, by the definition of the word, yes. But is it a bad quality?
really? Is that by the definition?
Isn't anyone narcissistic? Me.
I thought narcissistic was more.
It is a strong word, actually. I might be using it incorrectly. Let's see.
Yeah.
Now we have
Okay, it's
two computers.
Wow, dude, this is a bit extreme.
Whoa.
I don't think it was as extreme as I don't think it's as extreme as it's described.
Whoa,
on Google.
disorder. Okay, let's calm down.
Narcissistic personality. Yeah, disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. See, I think
You have a disorder, my good sir.
no. Okay, well, first of all, I
I'm
don't think I'm that important,
Yeah.
so I don't think it relates. But this is wildly. I think this is just taking narcissism, like just as a personality trait.
I thought it was just a person who liked, really prioritize themselves.
Yeah, I
and
thought
themselves
it's just a personality trait. And
Yeah.
then you just look up narcissistic and it comes up with freaking personality disorder, man.
I mean, surely there's a better way to say it because people use narcissistic in a very negative connotation. But is it negative though? Is it a negative actual word?
To have your own to believe you're
Inflated
important.
ego, lack of empathy. Whoa, that's need for attention, repress insecurities, few boundaries.
But can you really say it's bad?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I feel like it's good to have a bit of it, but being extreme about anything is bad, right?
Yeah, like we were saying, believe in a belief.
Yeah.
I mean, believe in a balance. Jeez,
Believe in a belief.
believe in a belief, guys.
Don't drop your beliefs. Ever. Hardball them.
I hardball believe that you should believe beliefs.
Yes.
Just facts.
Fact.
Don't ever forget that.
Spit 'em. Yeah, look, I don't think narcissism is a whoa. Someone's gonna use this out of context one
You
day.
can well.
I don't think narcissistic is a bad thing. I think too much of it is a bad thing. And a person who will only talk about themselves and only about themselves and literally just be the most annoying person in that sense, I reckon that's not an amazing thing or an amazing quality. But a person who actually can have balance between themselves and the world around them, I think that's a pretty good thing. And if that has a bit of narcissism,
I think maybe when we talk about it, we would. I think of a more like. I can't like. I feel it feels wrong to say that something is just inherently bad. I think if you are narcissistic in the way you act and like heavily narcissistic in your own beliefs, I think that just
is narcissistic. No, he's not selfish.
I think it just limits your social.
Would a person who loves themselves be a narcissistic person? Is that what? Because that's what I thought Kanye was, but
What I'm reading here, it's kind of like believes they're important. So like,
but everyone should be
like a narcissistic
like that.
person would believe that I'm like, if I was narcissistic, if unless that like that I'm more important than you, hence like my opinions matter more than yours. I should be going first. You should be going second.
I see.
Like,
So people who like, so that's the complete opposite than what we're saying in the sense of, whoa, okay, we're rewinding quite a bit now.
but there's parts of it that I don't disagree with.
Well,
That,
I
like,
reckon you should.
Inflated ego. I'm not opposed to that as long as you're like.
See, but I think they inflated. I think it's saying purely in a social sort of matter. So
See, and that's what I was trying to correct when we were saying it was bad.
Yeah.
I was trying to be like, I think, yeah, it's kind of just like expect negative repercussions in a social environment if you are being narcissistic. But having narcissistic traits in your personality, I don't think is inherently negative.
I don't think so either. If you respect yourself, you find yourself important, you shouldn't shut everyone else's opinions because you are important or because you think
you have to feel you're important.
I reckon so.
Everyone is important.
Everyone is important. And, whoa, okay. And that's why I think you should apologize for things.
For the NPC comments.
Yes. Yeah, man. I mean, look. If everyone's important and you actually truly believe that...
Maybe some people aren't important.
Here we go.
Maybe.
Go away.
I'll have to start thinking about it. Well... No, that's not... I don't think that's what I was saying.
That's what you said.
No. In the NPC, I don't think it's got to do with importance. It's got to do with, like, 100% in terms of just, like, protagonist video game type...
Can I ask you a big question?
Language, where you think the... like.
What makes someone important?
Oh, good question. I don't know.
Is someone inherently important just because they exist? Because I think that makes someone important. Not just people, by the way. I'm talking about everything, really. That's not a research question, man. I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, I know. What makes someone important?
What is... Yeah.
Okay, well, see, I had to just do a little quick Google on, like, the definition of
what important means.
Yeah, kind of, right? Kind of, right? And, like...
I mean, in the sense that we were talking about, though. You said everyone was important. And I agree with that fully, right? I reckon everyone...
see, this is what I mean. I think...
And everything is important.
And, like, I'm looking at the word, and I'm like, yeah, everyone has value. Everyone is of significance? Question marks. See, this is what I mean. I don't think everyone is of significance, but everyone has value to offer.
I believe everything is significant in different ways, even if like they're doing things that you don't agree with.
Well, I don't necessarily believe I'm significant.
You're significant in other people's lives. You may not think so, but I don't know. Think of your parents. If you didn't exist,
right? But there's people more important than me who have more significance and more value to offer.
Yeah, towards the world, but we as a whole create a balance in the world.
And I think this is where, like, you're attacking my comment on NPCs. I'm like, yeah, I think protagonists, like, you know, a lot of people have a lot of value to offer, and then I think there's some people who just go about their daily motion, whatever the hell, like. You know, like, yeah, you know, NPCs, just like the people in the background in video games who just, like, don't have any value to offer. But, like, I guess when I said it, it's, like, in relation to what you are doing in that moment. Like, I don't know, I remember working at Domino's and I had, like, the other main characters and then there were the NPCs that just cleaned the dishes and stuff. That's not to say that they don't have value. It's just that they... weren't of significance to myself at that time.
Yeah, to yourself. But what I said
earlier... NPCs is going to be from the perspective of the protagonist.
Yeah, and what I said earlier is, like, we create a balance to what the whole is, right? So basically, like, if you think about... I don't know. If someone didn't exist that exists currently, that would make a difference. Maybe not in your life, but that would make a difference in, like... if you think about everything. Oh,
I completely agree. There's a movie I've tried to show you. It's a Wonderful Life. My dad made me watch it every Christmas while I was a kid, and I hated it.
Didn't I watch it? I think I...
You watched a bit of it. We watched half of it.
Oh, we didn't watch the whole thing.
We didn't watch the whole thing. And it is basically about, a guy who was going to commit suicide, and an angel comes down and effectively shows him what his town would have been like if he was never born. I don't know.
So that's interesting, right? So even if you think of the person who, I don't know, is gaming, I guess, they still have social impact. They still, like, even if it's just Discord impact, right? They still have, I don't know, a work impact. If they live with their parents and don't have jobs,
well, they'll have an impact.
They'll have impact on their
people
parents.
They love and
yeah, so people are of significance always, right? Even people who don't feel significant, and suffer like terrible things to themselves and think they don't have any significance whatsoever, they are significant in a way. I couldn't tell you how, but
Yeah,
they.
I agree.
One thing that I love.
It's funny because I think all of this, the importance is definitely going to be just like categorized around society.
Yeah.
Like it all operates within a context. Like remove the context of society, and you just kind of be like everyone is as important and as valuable as the next.
Yeah. Well, or not important at all. What if no one is important? What if we just make no difference to anything because we live in a rock floating in space?
We take it space level argument, right? Where every single atom in existence is as important as the next atom in existence, because without you, the universe doesn't exist.
Yeah, see, one thing that I loved about again, going back to meditations, is the idea that we are. So I'll reword it. I'll reword it.
Yeah.
We are basically just material. We're just resource that came from Earth, and after we die, we just become again resource to Earth.
Yeah.
So we come from to, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really wild and a really interesting thing, because if you really think about it, right? If you don't think about all the things that we send to space or anything that like comets or anything, the matter on Earth is always the same.
Has never shifted. Yeah, you're
changed.
Right. Some stuff has gone.
Yes.
Space, but...
So for us to exist, or for anything in that matter to exist, something had to be taken away. So Earth is basically just balance in a sense for resources in a way.
Wait, I missed something in there where you said about the something going away.
Okay, so for you to exist, you are literally matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Something had to cease to exist. So, like, for example, you were
for me to exist
on your parents' womb, on your mum's womb.
Wombs.
Your mum had to like eat properly, had to do this and that for you to go from an embryo to a baby, right?
Oh, right, and the matter being consumed.
And other things that I don't understand because I do not learn this.
If it's understood, is it? It must be.
Well, I think the nature of it is understood. I don't think the reason why it happens is really understood, or why we're here. I don't think none of that. The philosophy questions, I don't think we understand, but
I don't think philosophy is made to be understood, hey? Or the philosophical questions.
I'm pretty sure philosophy, well, to me, philosophy is a way to ground yourself to what exists around you, really.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so it is a way to actually translate things into words so you can understand it.
The world around you.
Yeah. Give it a bit more comfort, a bit of grounding, like the whole idea that things don't matter, I think is really interesting in a way.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then and then when things you understand the context in which things matter.
Yeah.
Like things don't matter fundamentally.
No, not to you. It shouldn't.
No, but things matter if you based on your objective, right? I think.
I believe, yeah.
It's like if you want, and the broader context is like the society or the system in which we've set up for human existence. But I don't really know where I was going with that thought.
That's fair. That happens, man. It's okay. There's a few that I blabbed as well, and I'm like, oh, I go back.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh no, I think nothing matters.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally nothing matters.
Literally nothing. And and I was saying this to you the other day. That's why I find things that you do really rewarding, because you're doing it even though it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you can lay in bed and say that you did all these things that inherently don't matter at all, and you did them regardless, and that's just amazing. You got your happiness out of it. You got you got everything out of it, and really you didn't have to do any of them. You could just lay in bed and be
You could have just done
nothing.
You could have just done nothing, but you did it anyway.
Yeah, which is amazing, and it's amazing that people do it, right?
I feel like I definitely would love. I definitely love that idea.
I love that idea.
Well, is it doing things for your own pleasure then?
Yeah, well, not even the pleasure, for your needs, right? People need to like produce certain things into their brains, and not everyone does. and they wonder.
But you don't need to. It doesn't matter.
No, exactly. You're right.
You're gonna exist regardless. But yeah.
Some people wonder why they're sad, and like, okay, this is gonna go deep, I guess, in a way. But like,
Go for it.
I'll talk a little bit about and it's a problematic conversation actually, because some people might disagree, right, on that sense. But talk about depression for a second, right?
We're here to talk about our experience.
Depression and anxiety, right? And what really helped me in that sense was probably reading a lot. But what helped a lot, apart from the teachings from those books, was doing exercise and actually being active, right? Because at the end of the day, if you really, really, really think about it, the reason why you're sad is because you're not getting enough dopamine into your brain. And that's as simple as that, unfortunately.
Down to the neurochemistry, 100%.
Yeah. And we are just animals, and we are just roaming in a world that doesn't matter.
Yeah, our bodies and our brain and everything about us is still subject to the laws of physics and the laws of science.
If you eat correctly, if you have a balanced diet, if you run right, and get all the nutrients that you need in yourself, you will feel good, right?
Yes.
That's just science. It has nothing to do with, and I believe depression and anxiety is real. Don't get me wrong at all.
They 100% exist. There's no one is gonna ever refute that. I don't think. Yeah.
And obviously thoughts have impact on them, but the idea is, if you're doing exercise, you're not thinking about those things.
Exercise takes you to another place.
It does, and you just get endorphins shoot out into your brain cells.
It's the most incredible thing. If you're listening, exercise, please. It's mad.
It's pretty good. It had been a while since I was doing it, and then I started doing it again, and from being literally confused with everything around, it was pretty. I feel a lot more focused now. It's pretty good, actually. I feel happy at the end of the day, and
I'll have to talk to Name Redacted to see if it's impacted them.
Name Redacted. Oh.
Name Redacted. One of my best friends. But
I'm not sure what you mean.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll report back.
Right,
Just to gather other points of view on this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't think I've really experienced depression or anxiety to the point where it's worth commenting on. Or
I don't think I ever.
My experiences.
I don't think I ever felt depressed. Well, I felt depressed. I never experienced pure depression, because by what I hear, depression is something that you can't actually cure once you actually get it, which is wild. I don't know.
I feel like you could with exercise and a proper diet, proper sleep, proper hydration. I feel like those fundamental things down, you're gonna be.
See, but the key word in what you're saying is I feel like we don't know about this.
Me and you don't know. I don't know what the literature says. I'm sure there's.
Well, I felt depressed. Feeling depressed is not being depressed. They're two different things.
Yeah.
I felt depressed because things happened and I wasn't happy about it, and that just took me to a new low, I guess. But some people just stay on that low, and it seems like anything they do don't help. I genuinely don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't either. But
and for me, those feelings were really easily to overcome just by exercising and having a nice diet. So
I think having a nice diet is so neglected nowadays. But it's
how come?
But it's also like, well, first of all, it's neglected both just because it's more difficult.
But is it though?
Than getting
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like than just popping down to Macca's, going to drive-through.
Yeah,
And just getting a burger. But
Yeah.
like, I guess the real reason is it is expensive, or it looks expensive. I actually don't think it is.
I think it's cheaper than fast food.
It has to be cheaper than fast food.
It is though. I can feed myself for a week with like 2 days of Macca's.
Because that's what I did when I was trying to stop Macca's and KFC and all that. Just like plugging them on the name dropping them all, but like
Sponsor us, please.
yeah.
I actually love fast food.
Yeah.
During exercise. Get all your endorphins through KFC and Macca's, please.
Yummy.
This is what the D&E podcast has brought to you.
That's what it's all about, dude. When we get Macca's money, jeez, dude.
See, but it's actually funny though. When I was eating a lot of bad food and being in uni,
The wallet goes down like crazy.
dude, my brain was not handling anything well. I was
No,
all
dude.
over the place. I wasn't happy at all.
It's nuts. Food is fuel. And this is, you're talking about Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. I'm not sure if Stoicism's going to probably mention like the taste of food doesn't matter, or like it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't impact what food you're eating.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter if you eat in Stoicism. That's the big thing there.
I know in like Taoism and in like Chinese philosophy. Again, I think it all these things are so old that it's some samurai who was just living on his own, who just
Look,
couldn't eat anything other than oats. Was like, no, quality of food shouldn't matter in your life.
and this man
But
is
like-
just like focusing one thing and one thing only.
But like, yeah, how we live now, you can afford a spice or two wherever you are. So like, but food is fuel. So if you're ever feeling bad or whatever, like you go, what have I been putting in my body? How have I been fueling the machine that is my body of flesh?
Yeah, it's like if we're going for this analogy, it's like the same as having a car and putting the worst fuel in. It just you won't get as much mileage. You'll probably like clog the pipes on your car, or just make it less.
Yeah. And like, I think financially for myself, like when you're just tapping like to pay for McDonald's at a drive-through, you just completely forget that you're paying like $14 for a meal.
Yeah.
And you go to Woolies, and I mean, like, people will say steak is expensive, but like, I can buy a steak and eat it at home for less than what I'd get for a Macca's meal.
Dude, I don't even eat that much steak.
I don't eat steak
Chicken
much either.
so cheap though.
Chicken is
Whoever's
cheap.
vegan, I'm so sorry.
Well, they have their chickpeas and their
They do. It is a lot
and their
harder.
black beans.
I do acknowledge it's a lot harder to get the nutrients you need, or like as well as you would, because like
I have no idea how hard it is.
I tried for a little while to like just cut meat for a bit. That did not go well. Once I have a good job and I make enough money, I will consider it.
You have to be wealthy to be a vegetarian.
See, that's the thing though. You don't have to be wealthy, but you have to have like money and like time, because a lot of the things that I, at least in my experience, a lot of the things that I had to cook just took a lot longer than me just frying a chicken and that's it.
Mate, cooking
5 minutes.
Cooking a steak on the barbecue is like just the fastest meal you can prepare. It's filling, tasty. You just add like some rice or something, and it's like a whole rounded meal. But it's so fast. I love it. I couldn't believe it when I figured it out. Yeah, rest in peace, vegetarians on that.
Yeah,
front.
look,
That's
I acknowledge the difficulty of it. So
But food is fuel. Food is 100% fuel, and you educate yourself on what fuel you're putting.
but
in your
educate
body.
yourself well as well, because if you think about it, you eat steak every day. That's also not very good for you.
No, it's not. I've heard some things that's had positive.
Balance.
I've heard some things that's had positive effects. I don't understand fully, So I won't talk about it that much, but there is conflicting views.
From a lot of research that I did on how much steak I should eat, because steak I find expensive, and I try to cut down a little bit because it is just in hindsight expensive, and it has a lot of fat in it if you don't buy like a really lean steak. So it also goes into diet reasons. But after quite a bit of research, it was you should have it like 2-3 days a week at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about what I have.
Yeah, because like you need that iron and you need the other nutrients that steak actually have as well. So
I think the point I never made, sorry, it just came back to my brain, is to cut out fast food, and then all the money that you're spending on fast food, spend it on groceries.
I agree.
And you will realize how, like, you know, if you might think you're spending $60 a week on groceries, and whoa, I'm so cheap, but if you get fast food out 4 times, that's $120.
Wait,
4 times? Oh no,
14.
4 times. Yeah, 15 by 4.
46, 56.
Yeah, so 60 plus 60 is gonna be like.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry,
I'm saying.
I thought you said in a week.
4 times in a week. If you get fast food 4 times in a week, I'm just taking like 15. I'm just taking like the Big Mac, buddy.
$56 in the week.
Yeah, plus what you're spending on groceries.
Oh, plus what you're spending on groceries.
Yeah,
I see.
So if you think you're saving a lot of money because you're not spending much on groceries, I think a lot of people would be shocked at how.
Well, if you're spending $60 for a week and 56 for 4 days, that's easy maths right there already, right? You're having one meal versus like every single meal of the day. So yeah, Macca's would be pretty expensive.
Yeah, but like, it took me a lot of eating a lot of Macca's to think about that, which is slightly shameful. But
going back to the fuel thing,
it's
actually funnier because
once you're eating good, you don't wanna.
No, if you really think about it, right? Let's go back to the petrol analogy.
Yeah, sure,
right?
Sure.
Imagine putting the worst petrol and paying more for it versus putting really good petrol and paying less for it. That is like the difference between going to a supermarket and buying healthy food for less than you would actually pay at a fast food place.
This is what someone was saying. I saw a post on my feed from a friend, and they were like, "What's some easy, cheap food?"
I saw this
at home, and I was sitting there eating my breakfast, and I'm just like, dude, you have to try yogurt and oats for your brekkie. It's like $1.70 for like 500 grams of oats, and like $4.50 for a kilo of Greek yogurt. That is healthy, uber cheap. Like, why would you be eating anything else? It's healthy, cheap, and the large quantities. Like, it's just so great.
It's amazing.
It's baffling how such healthy foods, or like, I don't know. I think so many people think healthy food expensive.
No, it's $1 for oats, man.
a lot of it is cheap.
Yeah. Even the vegetarian stuff and the vegan stuff are actually super cheap. Yeah. And that, like, for what we have plus meat would be a lot cheaper than the alternatives I'd find.
Really, like steaks and mince is going to be more expensive.
Well, think about it, right?
The, like, gram for gram equivalent.
Yeah, it was hard to find. Oh, plus how I felt as well. My body just wasn't ready for it, I guess. It's really hard to go vegan. Yeah, or vegetarian.
Vegetarian, well, you know this. Vegetarian is all like when they dissected the bones of the gladiators. The gladiators were on a predominantly plant-based diet. And a lot of, like, I remember hearing somewhere that Usain Bolt and other top-level athletes were being transitioned onto primarily plant-based diets. I can't comment on why. I think there's something on Netflix.
Probably cleaner.
I think there was something about it. It's more efficient. I have no idea why.
I don't know.
It's worth looking into because like 100% the gladiators one is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Where they could have had meat in their diet, but it would have been very little.
Oh, okay.
But like you obviously just can't conclusively.
I
say
wonder
it was
how
a
much
fully
they would
vegetarian.
eat, though. You know, because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want the nutrients that you need, then that's like a lot.
Quantity of food would have to just like
Yeah.
take a hike.
And that's what I'm saying. That's when it would get expensive. And like quality of food as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, quantity of food. Yeah, probably actually. Because if you're looking at like a 600 gram steak versus 600 grams of like chickpeas
Beans.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're getting the same amount of food, but like one is gonna.
Not have as much.
Yeah, one's gonna just be a lot bigger.
Plus the drop of nutrient list that you'd get between the two, like the difference. Beans would have a lot less. Although you would have like different things to steak.
It's just a whole. It's just a whole. It would literally just be a whole nother lifestyle. It would just be a completely different
But
lifestyle.
you see, when I can have a steak and chickpeas, someone who's vegan wouldn't be able to have the steak, and they would have just have the chickpeas. So I would be getting all the nutrients from both, when they would be getting nutrients only from one.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of vegetarians are vegetarians for environmental reasons opposed to health reasons.
And that's pretty amazing, actually. That's a really good cause, I reckon.
It is. It is good. I definitely. I did reduce my meat intake for a bit, but then I just kind of like went back to it. But I believe it, like just being conscious of the amount of meat you're consuming is a good idea. Not so much because meat's bad. I don't particularly believe that, but I believe we should be incentivizing the alternatives, or investment in alternatives, just due to agriculture and like the amount of
well, before I go into this point, we've been rolling for 1 hour and 6 minutes. Do we want to stop?
I feel like we can. Well,
yeah. Okay. So, on that sense, I don't think meat is the bad part, right? I mean, there are things on meat that aren't good for you. If you have too much of it, it's just not good in a way. Like
too much meat.
Too much of anything is not really good for you at the end of the day.
No, we'll go back to our hardened wall belief of balance.
Well, it's just it's scientifically proven, but okay. Well, yeah, but if I
even science isn't a hard wall belief.
If I go into that, balance is definitely the idea on that. Yeah. Being able to actually fluctuate between the nutrients you need rather than for the pure pleasure of eating what you want. But like, I think the actual problem, environmentally speaking, is how much space cattle uses.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying about the agriculture.
Yeah, the amount of CO2 they fart into space. Well, into the atmosphere, rather.
Farted out into space. I guess if you do anything on Earth, it's in space, so...
It's true.
You're burping out into space.
Well... See, it never leaves Earth, is the thing.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, it's...
Into deep space.
What?
I don't know. Well,
we went from not in space to deep in space?
Yeah, I don't know.
It goes up to the ozone layer, which is like literally still on Earth. It's still part of Earth.
Aren't there like, how many atmospheres do we have? Is it like 12 or something?
A few, yeah.
Yeah, something else.
They do different things.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, actually, how it works.
Wild.
Yeah. It is wild. Earth is wild. We have a magnetic field.
I've heard this from the north to the south.
Yeah. So
poles. It's compasses work and whatnot, right?
It is. It has a lot to it. But it's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool how like magnetic fields change depending on what's on under the earth as well. So like depending on minerals and etc. So
we mine things out from under the earth and the magnetic field changes.
Well, you would. Yeah. You would. Because if you have I don't know. That's how they were doing. I told you this before actually, but like that's how they were doing.
Oh yeah.
Some drone mining. Well, not drone mining, but
drone,
that's how they
drone scouting.
Yeah, for minerals.
Yeah.
You look down with a camera, they can actually see the magnetic field, and depending of the level of magnetic field, it would mean like a certain minerals there, or just that there's a mineral there.
Quantity of minerals.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Really, really cool. That we can even do that, but yeah,
this is insane.
A lot of planets have magnetic fields where they go from the south poles to they actually fluctuate between the poles.
And while I don't know anything about anything, but I have heard good old Elon Musk mans saying, I think Mars, like you could nuke one of the poles on Mars and it would cool down the planet or something like this.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
Like I said, I don't know anything about anything, but there you go.
I actually don't know where they're at with that idea.
I think it's just one of those radical ideas, like just a theory, like it would work in theory, but you're never gonna do it.
Yeah, no, they talked about that, and it's really funny to hear like the scientific perspective on it, because it's technically like it would work.
It would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but people also say it would make it radioactive, so it would be completely like useless at the end of the day.
Hey, we have my favorite quote just dropping in here. One way to find out.
Well, we already know, so why find out?
Well, we haven't dropped a nuke on a pole before, so
no. We did something really cool the other day. We redirected an asteroid.
Me and you. Hell yeah, I remember that.
No.
We redirected that shit.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. There's one headed by soon.
Yeah. One just passed. The one with the green sort of trail. Just past us, and there's another one coming. There's asteroids coming all the time.
always headed this way, bro.
Yeah. There's one that's gonna actually change course, apparently, using Earth's gravity. So it might be a problem in 10 to 20 years or something.
Oh my god, they can see them that far out?
Well, it's just simulations. So you simulate it, and it has a plus minus sort of.
Oh, like a variance to it.
Yeah, huge variance. We don't know what's going on, man. We try to know, and we try to say as we do, but
it could kill us. It might not.
A lot of calculations are very off sometimes. So, but we did redirect an asteroid before, and that means we can do it again, and it was more effective than we even imagined. So,
how did we redirect it?
We sent a satellite and just hit it, and it was like, oh, other way.
I mean, look, makes sense. Actually, the math on that would be pretty nuts.
Oh, it would, because it's traveling at such high speeds. It's traveling at like 300,000 kilometers an hour or something like that.
This has to be something we'll talk about in a later episode.
Yeah,
we'll do some. But I love the question of, like, are numbers real, or did we create them?
Yeah, we have very different perspectives on that.
There are different perspectives on it. I'll have to look into the argument, and then we can talk about it. And I'm sure it'll take us down an interesting route of science or maths or whatever. But
yeah, I do think we should end this one, just because it's getting quite long now.
I guess that's a good note to end it on.
Yeah, and we are kind of finished with. We talked about personalities today, so we almost did it. We almost finished the conversation today.
I feel like we had a well-rounded conversation for this one.
I think so as well. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how we roll into different things.
It is. Well, we hope you enjoy us rolling into different topics.
It's very exciting. Okay, well, this is it from us, I believe, tonight. So this is the DNA podcast, if you didn't hear it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Eamon and Dan signing out. We hope you have a lovely afternoon, morning, middle of the day.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.
So yeah.
See ya.